Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another YouTube NFL podcast video. I am here today with Frank and not once again. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, how about we get started? So, the first topic of the day, I think everybody knows at this point. Unfortunately, Josh Allen does have a UCL injury. So, do you guys feel that he should play this week, or that he shouldn't? And if you don't think he should be playing, how long should Josh Allen be out?
Well, I'll go first. So it's considered a day-to-day injury, so we don't really know the extent of how bad it is.
Right.
But if he's not 100%, I don't think he should go because he can further injure it and it can cause other damage. And they're trying to win the Super Bowl, so one game isn't going to really matter.
Yeah.
So that's why if he has to sit out, he should sit out.
Right.
I know Josh Allen is going to want to play. You know, he's a competitor, so it's like, even if Sean McDermott tells him not to, he's going to want to play. But I know like it was like when he was throwing, so like who knows how it's going to feel. Like that could happen at any moment in the game.
Yeah.
It could just start hurting.
And also,
You never know.
yeah. And also the thing is, like you said, he is a competitor, so when he's out there, if they say, hey, you can't run the ball because you're going to, like, re-injured or something, he's going to want to run the ball. He's going to want to truck over people. That's kind of just his makeup, He's not really going to stop going until the whistle blows dead.
Yeah, that might even re-aggravate it, too. You never know. It might, like, make it worse.
Yeah, and, like, they are versing the Vikings, they're a pretty decent team with Kirk Cousins. So I don't know if they should. Like, they could probably get the win with Case Keenum, but that's a big problem because Josh Allen's about like 80% of their offense. Like, he's half of their run game and he's all their passing game. He just makes the offense really click.
Right. And as we all know, Kirk is not the greatest quarterback in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, I think if Case Keenum does start, I think that I'd probably take the Vikings just because of what's around Kirk Cousins, not because of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So. Alright, guys, so we are going to get to our next topic of the day today, and that is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. So, guys, where is Odell going to go? But also, where do you think he would fit best?
Well, my thing is, I think the only clear-cut option for him is the Packers. They're in desperate need of help. And I just think him and Aaron Rodgers, if they can lead that team to the playoffs, possibly, beat a couple, like a Vikings or like an Eagles team, that'd be really amazing for his career and help him bounce back because it'll probably be on a one-year deal. So I think the Packers are probably the best fit.
I think Packers are a really good fit for that offense, too. Aaron Rodgers needs a true wide receiver one. I want him to go to the Giants, though. I think that'd be cool with him and Saquon back there, especially how the Giants are doing so well now.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a fun offense to watch.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, do you think he would mess up the chemistry with the Giants offense? Because the way they've been going, they've been just kind of passing the ball around a bunch of different receivers. Do you think he's going to want to command the ball and want, 8 or 9 targets a game? Do you think that'll be his play?
No, only because they have a new coach now. They have that new offensive scheme going on. I don't think they're not going to let Odell come in and get his way. They're going to sign him. Then if anything, Daniel Jones has a new weapon just for the offense.
Yeah.
Because Daniel Jones, I don't think ever played with Odell. It was always Eli, and then Odell left. So
yeah, because
I believe you are correct.
So that'd be cool to see happen in New York.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but I don't know. He's gonna go to either Buffalo or Dallas. To be honest, I feel like those are two of the bigger teams in the hunt for getting him as a receiver. Where should he go? Where does he need to go? It's probably Green Bay, just because Green Bay doesn't have a receiver. What do they got? Alan Lazard.
Yeah. Romeo Doubs got injured.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins in and out of the lineup.
Yeah. And I just really think that he he needs a receiver. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is why. This is why. I mean, he's struggling.
And also the team who got him last year, the Rams, that helped him win the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yep.
I think before he got injured, he had a couple catches for like 30, 40 yards, which really helped him the whole year. Like in the playoffs, he was big.
Yeah.
I know Odell wants to go to a team that is like a winning record though too.
Right.
So like that's why it's hard to see the Packers.
Right.
So it's like the only way I could see him going there is if like Rodgers says he wants him publicly or something like that, or message or like we'll see though.
And he might though. He might.
I know.
To be honest with
And
you.
it's only going to be a 1 year deal anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's only like 8 or 9 games. If the Packers fizzle out and don't make the playoffs, he's gone after that year.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, as of right now, it's not looking too great for the Packers.
Mhm.
You know, you have your NFC teams right now. So, all right, guys. So, in the comments for last week, thank you to the person that did recommend the Tennessee Titans to us. You know, guys, the Titans. Yeah, actually, I do feel like a lot of people have slept on the Titans. I feel like the Titans have picked it up, like in these past few weeks. I mean, Derrick Henry, he's gotten going, and their receivers. I mean, Malik Willis actually was the number 1 quarterback last week. So
Yeah, so I would say the Titans have really picked it up on defense because Mike Vrabel is a really good defensive coach.
Yeah.
But for the offense, they've been really stagnant. Like they've always been Derrick Henry centralized, but they don't really have other receivers that can make plays because they got rid of A.J. Brown. They didn't want to pay him.
right,
And now they have Robert Woods. They have Birch, who they drafted. He's injured, though. And they have a couple. They have Austin Hooper, who's the aging veteran.
Yeah.
But they just need more playmakers. And Malik
Right.
Willis did look good, but he's too young and he doesn't really have the experience.
yeah,
I do think they need Tannehill back. Once Tannehill gets back in the lineup, that's like the true Titans team we've seen the past
Yeah.
couple years on offense.
yeah,
And I think the Titans could make some noise in the playoffs with Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? One game, that's all it takes for him to just go off.
absolutely,
Then nobody could stop them. But
yeah.
Yeah, and no one really expected them to go into overtime with the Chiefs. Their defense did play amazing against Mahomes. I think they went like 6 or 7 drives without allowing the Chiefs to score a touchdown or a field goal, which is really extraordinary.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to get to our last topic today, without the picks, obviously. So that is the Raiders. The Raiders have blown so many leads this year. It's actually been pathetic for what they're doing. You know, a lot of people thought that the Raiders would make a huge run. They'd make the playoffs. You know, I mean, with the way the Raiders are playing right now, it's not looking good for their season. Like, at this point in the season, do you think the Raiders just tank the rest?
I think they still have to stay competitive, but if they lose against the Colts, who just fired Frank Wright and
Right.
hired Jeff Saturday, I think their head coach is going to get fired, Josh McDaniels. They started off really good against Jacksonville. Devontae Adams had amazing catches,
Yep.
2 touchdowns, and they stopped giving him the ball in the second half. I don't know what to think of this Raiders offense. No Waller, so that's definitely hurting them.
Right, absolutely.
They're not getting Hunter Renfrow involved either.
I think Josh McDaniels has like teared this team to the ground. I think like if they still had their old coach back, they'd be like John Gruden. If he was still on the team, I think they'd be doing really good right now. But because I know Josh Jacobs has been playing amazing these past couple weeks, they just can't close out games, and I think it all comes down to their defense, like defensive schemes or whatever they're doing. But they're figuring out the Raiders in the second half of every game, and it's not going good for them.
Right, and I feel like the Raiders and the Ravens are like 2 similar teams playing this year. Some of the games, the Ravens, you know, they pick it up and they know what they're doing, and then in the fourth quarter, sometimes the Ravens throw the game. You know, that's what I feel the Raiders are doing, and I think they need to definitely pick it up.
And I think like some other people thought Derek Carr was going to have like an all-star level year. He hasn't really been playing good like Russell Wilson. He has to step it up as well because he's got to be the leader of this offense
Right.
and command the offense. He's been there a lot of years. I don't know when he was drafted. He's been there since he's been drafted. He is a captain. He's got to stick it out and get his team through this.
Right. And man, could you imagine the Raiders with Henry Ruggs still on the team? Man, especially, with Devontae Adams too, if they would have still made that trade if Henry Ruggs was still on the team, man, they'd be stacked, dude. Because Henry Ruggs, I mean, he was a good receiver before
Yeah,
the incident,
he was one of the fastest. I mean, I know Hunter Renfrow has been kind of quiet this year.
Yeah,
He has.
Last
Yeah.
year. Well, I mean, he's probably had to take the wide receiver 2 slot. If Ruggs was there, he'd probably be the slot guy for every play.
Yeah.
Him, Waller, just going out for all 4 of them. That's such a good combo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, they just released their first round pick a couple of years ago. Their safety. They've released a lot of players they drafted who didn't really turn out to be stars.
I know.
All right, guys, so we are going to get into our NFL picks for week 10 of the NFL season. Guys, it's going really quick, but it always does. So, Frank, how about you start us off?
All right, so tonight's game, Thursday Night Football, is the Falcons versus the Panthers.
Who won that first meeting? It was the Falcons, right? Yeah.
won it, yes.
Mhm.
All right, so I think the Panthers are going to get a little bit of revenge against the Falcons. It was DJ Moore's fault that they couldn't kick a regular extra point.
Mhm.
So I'm actually going to take the Panthers close.
Go ahead, Andre.
Nanda?
I'm going to take the Falcons. I just think they got more weapons on offense with Cordell and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I think,
Drake London.
yeah, him too.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons are the more all-around better team, and I think the Panthers are the bottom 2 this season with them and the Texans. But the Falcons are still down there. I just think the Falcons are going to pull this one out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to go with the Falcons as well because the Panthers defense just let Joe Mixon score 5 touchdowns against them also.
Yeah.
And Cordell Patterson, I don't think he's going to get 5, but he'll probably get 1 or 2 touchdowns. And they haven't really been using Kyle Pitts a lot, but Carolina's defense has not been good in the passing or the running game at all. So I just think they're going to cause problems for this Panthers defense.
Yeah, they might.
The next game is at 9:30 in Germany. The Seahawks versus Tampa.
All right. Yeah, I'm going against the GOAT 100%. Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Packers, they've all played really bad recently. Those are 3 teams that are really underperforming, and I don't think that Tampa's going to be able to pick it up here. I think Geno Smith in Seattle is going to be able to get the job done.
I agree. I feel like the Seahawks have been just playing really well this season, and Tom Brady and the Bucks have had so many close games. If anything, they've lost them, and it's just they haven't looked like the normal selves. So that's the only reason I'm taking the Seahawks. So they've been looking incredible this season.
Right, absolutely.
You guys do have great points, but after watching that Buccaneers game where they came back with 40 seconds left, no timeouts, and beat the Rams, I have confidence in Tampa. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring affair. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think the Buccaneers are going to win because, it's Tom Brady. I think they're going to find a way to neutralize Geno Smith because he has been playing really good. I think he's just going to fall back down, and Tom Brady was actually calling out the Buccaneers' effort on defense and offense. I think that's going to be huge dividends. I think he's actually going to get all the receivers involved, like Godwin, Evans. Even Scotty Miller was big, and that tight end Otten, the rookie tight end. I think he's going to get all of them involved. The next game is the Bears versus the Lions.
Oh, boy. You know what? Justin Fields, he's been pretty good, actually. It's just he's played 2 really great teams. And, at a point in the Dallas game 2 weeks ago, he had the Bears within 5 points. At the end, he had the Bears within 3 points against Miami. I think the Lions are having trouble this season. So I'll take the Bears.
I'm going to take the Bears too, only because of last week. Justin Fields, I think he found his play style. I think he's just going to run the ball a lot. I know there was even a clip of the offense coach telling him to stop.
Yeah,
stop it. Yeah, because he kept running the ball.
Yeah.
And if he just learns how to do that again, and especially if he finds receivers open, I could see that Bears offense being just too good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears too. Like no one really thought the Lions were gonna upset the Packers. They just played really, really well. Like they had 3 red zone turnovers. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Fields gonna make enough plays, throwing and running,
Yeah.
and the Bears are gonna win.
I feel like one of you guys took the Lions over Green Bay last week, though. So one of you guys took the upset. I don't know. I don't
I'm not
remember
sure.
who it was.
I forget because I think I took the Packers. I'm not really sure.
I think it was you, Nando.
Wait, who won that game?
The Lions.
Beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
Might have. I don't know. We can always go back and check.
We'll go back.
Yeah. And also, the Lions do have Swift back, but I just don't really think that's going to help them because Justin Fields has been on an amazing tear.
Right.
The next game is the Dolphins versus the Browns.
I'll take the Dolphins. I know that's what you want to hear, Frank. But I think Nick Chubb is really good and Kareem Hunt. They're both really good running backs, but I don't think that they're going to be able to get the job done against the Dolphins and Tua.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins too. I just can't see how you would scheme against that team, how to set up against when you have the 2 fastest wideouts in the league.
Yeah.
I know Jeff Wilson did not look bad. I don't think in his last game either. So
Yeah.
that Dolphins offense is something.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Dolphins as well, but I mean, the Browns have a really solid team. They have a solid pass rush with Myles Garrett. They have a solid running game. Like you guys said, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. If they can slow down the game, they can make it competitive, but I just think it's probably going to come down to the wire, and the Dolphins are going to make a couple more plays or get another stop like they have been doing against Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
The next game is the Tennessee Titans versus the Denver Broncos.
I'll take the Titans. I think Derrick Henry, he's definitely starting to pick it up. The Titans defense, we just talked about that. They're definitely starting to pick it up this season. So I think the Titans will be able to get the job done. Who are they playing again?
They're playing the Broncos.
The Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos, they're just not that great.
I'm gonna take Broncos country. I think coming off the bye week, I feel like Russell Wilson will be ready to play this week. I just think that they've had a lot of time to prepare, and that's the only reason really I think I'm taking the Broncos this week. They hopefully they fix out their problems and everything.
Yeah, so Tannehill is still questionable, but if he plays, I'm going to take Tennessee. If he doesn't, I'll take Broncos. I don't know if you guys saw, but Pete Carroll was calling out Russell Wilson again, so was Tyler Lockett, all those players. But I think the Titans have a much better defense from your standpoint, like making turnovers, stopping Denver on their offense. Like Denver has been, they played good in London, but it was against the Jaguars, so I don't think they're really going to keep it up. I think Titans are probably going to slow the game down with Derrick Henry, and just if Tannehill's out there, make enough plays to survive.
Yeah.
The next game is the Bills, which Josh Allen, as we talked about, is questionable against the Vikings.
Oh, man. Now, this one's tough. You know, I would take the Bills 100% over the Vikings if it was 100% that Josh Allen was going to play. But, you know, even if Josh Allen plays, it's not 100% that he'll play the whole game. So I will take the Vikings just because of that reason. There's no other reason. I think the Bills' defense is really good. But I also think the Vikings' offense is really good with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. A lot of people seem to feel that the Vikings are frauds this year. We're going to find out. I'll tell you that.
I'm going to take the Vikings only because, well, I have 2 reasons. One is because of the Josh Allen injury, obviously.
Right, absolutely.
I know, Kyer Elam got hurt a little bit, too, last game, and, I know the safeties are out, too. So I feel like the Vikings offense might do really good against the Bills this week because, they're going to be struggling and, they might be down a lot. Momentum might be going the Vikings' way.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's at Minnesota or not?
I do not.
Okay. Because I just feel I think Kirk Cousins has been playing really good, too. That Vikings team has looked incredible.
It's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo. So, the fans are going to be behind them, but I feel like the Vikings are going to pull it out.
Yeah, I get your guys' points, but I'm going to go Buffalo either way because if you look at the team, they're stacked. They got Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. They picked up Naheem Hines. They have Devin Singletary. Their offense is really, really good. And the Vikings defense hasn't been good this year at all. I mean, if Case Keenum's out there, that definitely will be a very even game. Like it should go really close to the wire. But like the spread with Josh Allen playing was like 9 points, and now it's still at 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if Josh Allen is out there, if he's 80%, I still could see them getting a win.
Yeah.
The next game is the Giants versus the Houston Texans.
The Texans kind of stink this year. The Giants are somehow really good. I think we're all still shocked, but I think the Giants will take this by a long shot. I don't think the Texans' defense is going to be able to stop the momentum of Saquon Barkley.
I'm gonna take the Giants too. Part of me wants to take the Texans, but I feel like because of Damian Pierce, but I feel like the Giants are gonna pull this out.
Right.
It's like they just have so much on offense this season to deal
Yeah.
with. Their
Yeah.
defense is playing good too. So.
Yeah.
I saw a stat where the Giants are 5-0 when Saquon rushes 24 yards or more, 24 attempts or more. So I think they're just going to run the ball against Texans. I mean, Texans don't have a good defense. They're probably going to win, most likely. I mean, the Texans did put up a fight against the Eagles in that first half. I mean, afterwards wasn't really much of a fight, but they did in the first half. But I think the Giants are going to win. It'll probably be closer than we expect, though.
Yeah.
The next game is the Chiefs versus the Jaguars.
The Jags started off really well this year, but they kind of just fell off the face of the earth after those few games. So I think the Chiefs are just going to kill them the whole game.
I think the Jags have the potential to upset, but I have the Chiefs winning just because like the Chiefs looked a little like rough last week against the Titans, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think the Titans, and not the Titans. I think the Chiefs are gonna pick it up this week and figure out their problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm kind of curious to see what KC does because they do have a good receivers, but they have good running backs as well. They have Isaiah, I don't know how to say his last name, the rookie, and then they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they have Jared McKinnon also. So I'm kind of curious to see how that running back tandem is going to go and who's going to get the most amount of snaps because they definitely need to run the ball more. Against Tennessee, they were kind of predictable. You know, they knew they were going to throw to Juju. They know they're going to throw to Kelsey. So I think getting that ground attack is going to be very helpful for KC when it comes to playoff time.
I agree.
The next game is the Saints versus the Steelers.
Oh boy, these are two teams that are definitely also underperforming this year. I mean, yeah, did we expect the Steelers to be like really great? No. Did we expect them to be really bad? No. We expected them to be just like right in the middle, just that mediocre team that you can rely on like in a Survivor League, you know? So, I'll take the Saints.
I'm gonna take the Saints too. Is Andy Dalton still the quarterback?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't make any changes.
I'm gonna take the Saints. I think that they will play well this week. I have nothing else much more to it. I just think the Saints look like the better team this week.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints as well. I mean, the Steelers did trade away Claypool, which is kind of mind-boggling to think he was like one of their best receivers. And they do have a young quarterback, but also, I don't know if Marshawn Lattimore is playing, but if he's playing, he's going to lock down either Pickens or Deontay Johnson, which doesn't leave much room for Kenny Pickett to throw the ball to other receivers. So I think it's going to be tough sledding, especially with that Saints defense with Cameron Jordan on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't know if TJ Watt is coming back,
That's
but
what I was gonna ask too.
if he does come back, it will definitely be closer, but I'm going to have the Saints win too.
Yeah.
The next game is the Raiders versus the Colts.
Oh boy, this is tough. I'll take the Raiders. I think they'll bounce back from last week. Not because they're a great team, just because I think the Colts aren't that great at all. But I think Devontae Adams in that offense will be enough to get the job done.
I'm gonna take the Raiders just because like the Colts obviously have their new head coach now.
Yeah.
And like who knows how he's gonna do with that offense.
Right?
Is Taylor back? Or-
He's questionable.
Okay. He's been lackluster this season, if we're being honest. Though, like, everybody expected him to like be amazing again, like how he was last year. But I'm gonna take the Raiders too. I just think their offense is enough to get the win, unless they somehow mess up in the second half. But we'll see.
Yeah, there's no absolute way that the Raiders should lose this game. I mean, if you're looking at it from a standpoint where Colts fired their head coach, Their only main receiver is Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is questionable. The Colts offensive line just allowed 9 sacks to the Patriots.
Yep.
No way you should lose this game. That's why I'm picking the Raiders too. But, I mean, I still wouldn't be surprised if the Colts somehow pull it out because the Raiders have been really bad at keeping those leads.
Yep.
The next game is the Rams versus the Cardinals.
I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think the Rams, we just talked about it. They're one of those other teams that are underperforming in the league right now. So, and Cooper Kupp, I don't know what's going on with him. So, I think DeAndre Hopkins will get the job done.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals too. I just think as long as they target DeAndre Hopkins, I've realized that like the Cardinals are more of like a winning team, and I think as long as he gets open and stuff, they should be fine. And I think like the Rams are a really good team still. You know, and they have all those like superstars like with Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
Jalen Ramsey versus Hopkins going to be something to watch out for. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
I'm going to take the Rams and go against you guys. Henderson, the running back for the Rams, is finally back, so I think they're going to get that run game going. I know they're a little banged up in the O-line, but I still think that the Rams have owned the Cardinals the past few years. They've beat them, I think, most of the times, if not all. And I just don't think DeAndre Hopkins just throwing D-Hop is going to – I mean, obviously it's going to be good, but I don't think that's going to win them the game. They need to spread the ball around. Kyler hasn't really been good this year at all. Neither is Stafford. They've both been like underperforming, but
yeah,
I think that run game is really going to benefit him.
Yeah.
The next game is the Cowboys versus the Packers. Mike McCarthy's return.
Okay, so I think Dallas is going to win, but then again, I think about Dallas's record in the Aaron Rodgers era, and it's 2-7. The Dallas record in the Brett Favre era is 9-2. So Dallas, for some reason, does struggle a lot against Aaron Rodgers, but I don't believe that they will struggle against Aaron Rodgers this time. I think Micah Parsons, that defense is going to pave the way just to be enough for Dallas to win.
Every single week, I always want to pick the Packers to win because we know how good they could be, or like
right.
we're used to how good they've always been. Yeah. But they're not the same anymore. Like he's lost all of his like weapons almost. Yeah. I mean, if Aaron Jones plays well, you never know what could happen on that offense.
If Aaron Jones plays also, he's questionable.
Okay.
Oh, is he?
Well,
yeah.
Packers. I mean, like. It's just like so weird to see them not do good. So I'm gonna take the Cowboys in this game. I think their Cowboys defense pass rush is gonna be really good too.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Cowboys as well. Mike McCarthy's revenge game. They kind of shoved him out the door and blamed him for all their mistakes. But really, I think some of it was on Aaron too, and he's got to own up for that. He took that contract, $50 million a year. That's why he's getting poor production from his receivers. Aaron Jones is hurt. You know, they've been struggling a lot, and I just think this Cowboys defense is really going to do a lot of numbers, get a bunch of sacks on that O-line who's been struggling, and just help Dallas get the win.
Yeah.
The next game is Sunday Night Football, the 49ers versus the Chargers.
Well, these two teams are also two teams that are underperforming in the league, in my opinion, right now. But I just think that the 49ers are going to be able to get the job done. Brandon Ayuk has actually had more of the ball than Deebo Samuel has. But I think that offense for the 49ers should be able to get the job done against the Chargers.
I'm gonna take the Niners too. I just think Niners have a lot of like superstars on that offense. Like I know they're coming off a bye week, so I want to see how that works. I want to see if they use McCaffrey. It's gonna be so interesting to see to me.
Right.
I think Debo's back now too. So I mean, they just have so many big playmakers. Like if you need a play that goes like 70 yards, it can happen at any time. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers as well. The Chargers haven't really been playing good. They might be out Keenan Allen. I don't know if it's playing Mike Williams as well. They've been struggling on offense, and I think Jimmy G actually has a winning record with Kyle Shanahan. He's won over 60% of his games with him. So I think he's going to continue that trend, keep it up, and I'm sure Christian McCaffrey, Debo, George Kittle will be great. The next game is the Eagles, Monday Night Football. The Eagles versus the Washington Commanders.
I'll take the Eagles. I think they win in the landslide here. The Commanders with Taylor Heineke have been actually pretty good so far, but I don't think that stops what the Eagles have been doing.
I'm gonna take the Eagles too. Well, I feel like one of these games, like other team is gonna beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening this week, and I just think AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts connection is gonna be too much for them.
Yeah, I don't even know if Taylor Heineke won a game against the Eagles. It's been a couple of years. I think he usually loses a lot of them in the blowout, so I think that's going to happen again, like Jake said.
Yeah.
The Eagles are probably just going to run the ball over Washington. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. It's just way too much for that Washington defense to cover.
Right.
And I know they got two of the best lockdown corners too, the Eagles.
Yeah,
You could say
yeah.
that they're up there with the Jets and stuff too, but
Yeah, I mean, they only have really Terry McLaurin on offense. That's their main guy. Everyone else has really been underperforming.
has Curtis Samuel been bad too? I know he's there. He's not horrible.
He started off good, but he's kind of went down a sharp decline.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we are going to end our video here for today. I appreciate who watches. Like and subscribe. Share down below. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Nando. And guys, please put your picks in the comments once again. And put what you want us to talk about for the next few weeks. See you guys.